Yo guys, how are we doing, and welcome to another video. Today I am going to be doing a video on smartwatches and how you can use smartwatches to track and improve your overall health and your overall fitness. The brand of smartwatch is irrelevant in the whole scheme of things. I have got a Garmin Forerunner, but I have used a iWatch in the past, and all of these sort of smartwatches have similar functions. Some are just designed for more specific tasks. So today I'm going to be breaking down the top reasons why I think that a smartwatch is beneficial for your health and your fitness goals. And yeah, we're going to talk about some specifics. I'm going to talk about how I use my Garmin. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So guys, if you are new to the channel or you have watched a few videos maybe of mine, please consider subscribing. If you enjoy this video and you find it at all helpful or useful, hit the like button. And if you haven't already, go into the description of this video and go over and follow me on Instagram at AlexFieldLife. Alright guys, let's get stuck into it. Okay guys, before we get into the video, I do want to have a slight disclaimer, and that is that although this video is going to be talking about some key principles and things that like smartwatches do that I think are really beneficial if you want to have like a really nice fit and healthy lifestyle, you do not need a smartwatch. You don't need to spend lots of money on fancy things in order to maintain and have a fit and healthy lifestyle. You just don't. I mean, I've only been using this watch for 6 months, and although it's great, I could easily not have it anymore and still be able to follow key principles to allow me to have the healthy lifestyle that I currently have. So if you don't have the money, or you don't think now is the right time to buy yourself a fancy smartwatch, don't feel pressured or stressed by it. Yeah, but if you're in a position where you've got one or you're looking to buy one, this video might be the video for you. But I wanted to add that disclaimer before we get into anything else. Okay everyone, so the watch that I have got that I am going to be using specifically to talk about smartwatches is this. This is the Garmin Forerunner 45S. Now this is one of Garmin's smaller watches that it has. They have a whole range of smartwatches available, and obviously Garmin is not, I'm not being biased towards Garmin. I have had an Apple Watch in the past. I know Samsung do smartwatches. I know there's Fitbit. There's a whole variety of different companies and organizations you can buy your smartwatch from, but I have got a Garmin, and so that's where this is the watch I'm going to be talking about. Smartwatches typically have the same kind of features. This has, on the back of it, it has a little, if I can get it there, a sensor, which you can see there. It's that little sort of shiny thing. This goes onto the back of your wrist and obviously measures things like your heart rate and all kinds of things like that. It also has the little chart. There you go, it's lit up now. It's also got the charging port there too, so you can plug it in and recharge it. Now, a lot of smartwatches have rubber straps. They're quite versatile, but obviously thinking about it from a health and fitness perspective, having a rubberized strap just makes it so much easier. I can go on a run, I can do a workout and not have to worry about having a metal strap around my wrist. Although I do know if you are interested in having more of a customizable watch, Apple Watches, the straps, they're easy to replace and change. So if you wanted to, you could have like a metal one for evening use, and then you could change your rubber ones out when you're doing exercise. I'm not convinced that you can change the Garmin ones. There are a couple of screws on the back that I believe you can unscrew, but I have no interest in messing around with it. I'm more than happy with the strap that I've got. So this is the specific watch that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So first and foremost, the interface. Now, most smartwatches have customizable interfaces, which basically just means that you can choose whether or not it's digital, whether it has a ticking clock face on it, and so on and so forth. And most, if not all, I would say, smartwatches come with some kind of app so that you can control all the features on your phone. On my smartwatch, on this one, on my Garmin, I've just got a standard digital face interface where it's just the numbers come up. But like I say, you can change it to a traditional clock face if you so wish. I'm not particularly bothered. I actually probably find it easier to have the digital interface on this because I'm often looking at my watch when I'm mid-run, and it's so much easier to just see the numbers than it is to read the clock face. So it's all interchangeable. Right, so how and why do I think, or what reasons do I have for saying that smartwatches are really beneficial for you in terms of your health and achieving certain fitness goals and so on and so forth? First and foremost is most, if not all, smartwatches have a heart rate monitor. Now, the heart rate monitor is great because it will give you an indication of what your resting heart rate is. Now, resting heart rate for a healthy person typically is between 60 and 100 BPM, beats per minute. If you are healthy, it will be lower, and if you are considered athletic or you're really into your sport, in some cases it will be lower than that. So my average resting heart rate is around 50 to 55 beats per minute. Some days, depending on my activity levels, that has been actually into the high 40s as well. Now, that I think is normal for me because I'm very active, I'm fairly fit. But it can also be an indication of whether or not you have a healthy or unhealthy heart and heart function. Now, I don't know about blood pressure. I'm pretty sure that the smartwatches don't test blood pressure, but your heart rate gives an indication of how healthy your heart is and all of your vascularity and so on and so forth. So having a good heart monitor on your wrist that you can check throughout the day is really beneficial. And the great thing about the Garmin especially is that it will give you an average. It will give you what your lowest heart rate is, your resting heart rate in a day. It will also give you what your sort of highest heart rate has been. So if, for instance, you've done a workout or you've been on a run or something similar, it will tell you, what your highest heart rate was at that time. And again, using the app, and I'm assuming it's the same for other smartwatches too, you can then track your heart rate across a period of time. So that could be across a day or across a week, a month. I find that really beneficial because depending on the kind of cardiovascular exercise you're going to be doing, sometimes it's best to keep your heart rate within a specific number, and that's obviously based on what your resting heart rate is. So being able to check your heart rate is a really good beneficial part of having a smartwatch. Another thing that's really good, and again, like I said at the beginning, you don't need a smartwatch for this, but it just makes it's just in terms of user friendliness and capabilities, it's just so much. I find it just really user friendly. Is you can track like pretty much all your exercise on a smartwatch. The best things to track are things like your runs, or if you do bike rides, you can do bike rides. For me, the reason I asked for a Garmin was because I wanted to use it to track my runs and my exercise. And so what happens is on this Garmin specifically, it has a variety of settings that will allow you to track your heart rate, your distance, the amount of calories you've burnt for all of the exercise that you're doing. So if I go out for a run, for instance, I can select the run function on my watch. I can press start. It has a GPS on here as well, so when I'm running, it will track where I'm going. It will also track my heart rate, the amount of calories I've burnt, the distance, the average time that it takes me to run a specific lap. That could be a kilometer or a mile, depending on the settings that you've chosen. And then by the time you come back and you press stop again, your run is recorded. Now, there are other apps like Strava, and I'm sure there are others also that do a very similar thing, but it requires you to have a phone on you, which is fine. I just find that having this on your watch, it just is, I personally just find it easier. Usability and being user-friendly, it's just, yeah, I just find it easier. And then the great thing about it is afterwards, you can go on your app. So for me, obviously, I go on the Garmin app, and then I can see how well I've done in that specific run. It tells me how many calories I've burnt, because obviously, like I say, it's got a tracker on it. It can tell me what my heart rate is, which obviously something like Strava cannot do unless you've got a smartwatch on. And it just gives you all the different stats that you would potentially want to know in order to improve your fitness. That could be improve your run, improve your cycle, or if you're doing other workouts, improve your fitness, your heart rate, etc. over a period of time. So being able to record all of your workouts and exercises is a fantastic benefit of having a smartwatch. The other thing that the smartwatches often do, and again, I'm not entirely sure about other brands, but I know my Garmin watch does it, is it tracks other healthy rhythms and patterns, things like your sleep. So if I wear my Garmin to bed and I sleep with it on, it will track your heart rate throughout the evening, and obviously the amount of calories that you burn throughout the evening too. What that means is that it will give you an indication as to the quality of your sleep. So in the Garmin app, I can go on and have a look, and it will be able to tell me when I had light sleep, when I was awake, when I had heavy sleep, when I had REM sleep, which is the rapid eye movement sleep, when you're in a really deep sleep. And it means that I can test different factors such as hydration, when I go to sleep, am I on my phone before I go to bed, or may I meditate or do some yoga or something before bed? Could I read, listen to music? Are there things that I can put in place to help improve my quality of sleep? Now, I haven't properly tested this, and I may well do in terms of alcohol use and stuff like that before I go to sleep, but there are a whole variety of different things that the sleep pattern and stuff can show you that will help you improve those areas and aspects of your life. The other thing that the Garmin does is it tests your energy use, both in terms of your stress and mental capacity as well as physical. So I don't really know how it tests your mental capacity, but it basically gives you an indication of stress levels. So if you've had a highly stressful day, it will tell you, and it will give you an indication of when in the day you were most stressed. And there are tips on how to reduce that stress level. And the same with the physicality, right? So if you've had quite a lazy day, maybe it's been a Sunday and you've had a chill day, it will tell you how much stress your body has gone through. If you've had a very active day, that will obviously be higher than sort of those more relaxed days. So it offers all that kind of data which you otherwise wouldn't have without wearing one. So I find it really useful to be able to watch and track, because obviously you can then see what days in the week potentially you are more stressed or less stressed. So those I find really beneficial. All right, guys, just a quick one. I am midway through editing this very video, and I forgot to note a very important point, and it's a point that I wanted to bring up when I first thought about this idea, and that is the fact that you can track the amount of calories that you are burning in a day. This is the amount of calories you burn when you're resting, as well as the amount of calories that you burn when you are doing exercise. And I have found that really important and interesting because it really helps give me an idea of how much food and the calorie intake that I have to play around with. Now, there are obviously, in terms of the accuracy of the recording of the device, it could be argued 2 and 4, whether it's accurate enough and so on and so forth. But I thought I would make sure that I recorded this short little video just to state that it does record your calories, even if that's a very rough idea of how much you're burning based on, like, I suppose, however it records it, through your blood, through your energy, whatever that might be. And so I found it really useful as a dieting tool so that I make sure that I'm not overeating or undereating each day. So that's also really useful. Right, back at it. And I suppose the final thing, which you could argue a standard phone would provide you, you don't need to pay for an expensive smartwatch to do this, is that the Garmin, and again, I'm going to assume it's the same for the other smartwatches, has other functions such as timers and stopwatches and stuff like that. So if, for instance, you are doing sprints, or I will often use my smartwatch when I'm doing HIIT sessions to check how long I've been doing a set exercise and set timers and stuff like that. You can set all of those timers on your watch, and it means that when you are doing anything in particular, it doesn't even have to be fitness based, you have basically a stopwatch and a timer on your wrist. It's really easy to access, and you've got laps on there and all sorts of things like that. So you can obviously use that, and you don't have a phone that you have to keep in a pocket and all those extra things that you just don't want to have to manage. So it is really useful. And obviously, because most smartwatches are connected to your phone, you can also arrange and sort it out so that you get notifications through. So if you're on a run, for instance, and someone calls you, it will come up on your watch so you don't have to fumble through pockets. If you are getting emails and text messages, it will come up on your watch too. So you can get notifications come up, which, depending on your preference, could be beneficial or could be really annoying. Okay, guys, now I have had a fairly lazy Saturday. I am going to go and get some running clothes on. I'm going to go for a run. I will catch you when I'm done, and I will show you the stats of my run and how the Garmin is really helpful in that sense. So I will catch you guys in a bit. Run done. There we go. Whew. Pull these out of my ears. There we go, guys. That was a run complete. Oh, and also as a side note, I did a video recently, which I will link and I'll pop a clip up for, of the MPOW M-Dots, and I mentioned whether or not they would be suitable or ideal. Let me get someone with better light. There we go. Suitable or ideal for running and exercise. I've been using them for running, and they hold up just fine. For things like cycling, because you've got a helmet on, there's more of a chance that they'll fall out because your helmet rides up and down. And HIIT workouts, I've not properly tried yet, but I will do so and in a future video I will comment on whether they're good for HIIT workouts too. Anyway, that was my run complete. It didn't feel as good as my previous runs this week, or actually in the last couple of weeks. I think largely because I ran having only eaten sort of 40 minutes ago, and I drank a glass of water before I left because I felt a little bit dehydrated, and so I felt like there was an element of like sloshiness going on. If you've ever run, you'll probably know what I mean by that. So yeah, but the run was good. As you can see, I am sweating now, and I recorded it on my watch. So when you're running, the way that the interface looks like on the watch, you have distance at the top, so how many kilometers or miles you've done. You have the time that it's taking you, so that's just a standard sort of countdown, I suppose, or count up. And then it has your pace at the bottom, so how fast per kilometer or mile you're running. And it buzzes every mile or every kilometer, again it depends on what you've set it to let you know that you've done another kilometer or another mile and how long it's taken you. And once your run or workout is finished and you've saved it, it connects to your phone and to the app, and it lets you know your pace throughout the whole run, where your pace was greater or where your pace was better, and it has it on like a GPS map, so it has it like a track, the run that you've done or the cycle or whatever, and it has a colour system, so the areas that you were quickest would be like in green, for instance, and the areas that you were slowest would be like purple or red or something like that, and it gives you an indication of like where you were slowest and stuff like that, and it also tells you gradient, your max heart rate, calories burnt, all that kind of goodness. So yeah, but yeah, there we go. I am going to wrap the video up here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about smartwatches, the function, if you wished for me to review, I probably will do a review on the Garmin itself, then I will do so. So yeah, as I've said at the beginning of the videos, if you liked this video or any of the stuff I've done and you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, click the notifications so that you get notified every time I upload. If you do want to see anything in particular, comment down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, follow me on Instagram, AlexFieldLife, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. Bye.